Try to catch you up. I titled this No Vegans on Flat Earth because I guess two of the biggest significant things that have happened to me in the last 3 years, aside from going vegan and realizing I can't do this restauranting thing anymore. And so I had just a real decision point in my life. I called a photo set that I did Absconding 2013, and I took a month off and traveled. I thought I was losing my mind because I realized I can't be in my industry anymore, and I can't be working for the adopted family that I have because it's just an all-consuming thing. I need to get away as far as I can, and so I did. And I went to British Columbia. I traveled. I stayed in Alberta for a while, then I went down into Seattle, then I went across the northern states back, and then I went up through Detroit back into Windsor and came back to Ontario, southern Ontario. And through all that, I realized in that traveling, like, I can't do this anymore. I'm kidding I'm kidding myself if I think I can work in the food industry, the non-vegan food industry. And in between all that, my friend Rick called me up and said, hey, I know that you have been a technician / mechanic, you're good with your hands, some of you might have seen my other channels where I have videos about undercoating cars and whatnot. Anyway, so he just said, hey, why don't you come work with me? I fix stuff for a living. I'm a technician, contractual technician, and I can't even get in. I got 7 minutes on this video. I can't even get in, even touch the iceberg of what I repair and what I do on a daily basis. Toyota last week, a hospital in Hamilton, city of Burlington. I mean, I can't, Catholic school board, public school board, I cannot even get into it all. Like, that's just the tip. It's just so much that we cover, and I'm so swamped. And that's been for the last 3 years, and I've been completely crazy busy. On top of all that, I put out this post on my website, I know you're out there, because I was I was single for a long time after my ex, and my sister said, why don't you just post how you feel about the right girl on your website instead of wasting time with OkCupid and dating websites or whatever. So I had done that, and it's still on my website today. It's called I Know You're Out There, and I list, I was crazy. I thought, I'm just going to be as loopy as I can. She has to be a Pisces, she has to be vegan, she has to have a healthy distrust of the government, yada yada yada. And anyway, one day on OkCupid I get a message from this random person who turned out to be Desiree. She was using a fake account, fake profile, fake name, and one, two, skip a few, we started talking, we became friends, and then she told me her whole story about the kids and their father, how he had died. And here I am today. We've moved in together, and it's been crazy. Some of you follow me on Twitter. We've recorded music together, Desiree and I. We've traveled. We went on a Caribbean cruise. We just got back from New Brunswick. Her work center out there. She's traveled the world. She speaks 4 or 5 languages. She's a polyglot, one of the smartest people that I know. And she's completely into all this same stuff that I am, but she's super quiet about it. And she's a vegan, and when I met her, she was just on the tail end of getting to the point where she was done with veganism and wanted to getting done with vegetarianism and wanted to progress into veganism. So here I am. I'm just like, I'm a vegan, and I didn't know any vegans. This is the thing. When I went vegan, there was nobody around. Now there's videos and self-help stuff and all that. I feel like a relic or a dinosaur when I talk about veganism, because when I went vegan, there was nothing. We didn't have anything. I literally was eating salad and beans for a long time, and now you can have burgers and cheese and hot dogs, and it's all this crazy stuff. So, Desiree and I met, and we've been together for almost 2 years now, or a little over 2 years, around 2 years. And it's been good. So, the kids are in bed, and they call me Dad now. For a while, they were calling me Adam and Dadum. I mean, I've been in their lives now. Tyler was 1 when I met him, and he just turned 4. So, it's been a ride. Regardless, the other big thing that has come up is this whole flat earth thing. And when I first heard about the flat earth thing, I laughed it off, just like I laughed off veganism or or being gluten-free. So, by the way, I'm eating pretty much gluten-free now, and it's not because I developed this celiac disorder. It's because if you eat vegan for long enough, you become sensitive to everything else. Like, I can't have sucralose or aspartame because it will make me literally high. I can't have too much coffee. I can't drink anymore. I haven't been able to drink. If I drink half a glass of wine, I drink maybe once or twice a year. If I drink half a glass of wine, I'm done. Like I have no tolerance anymore. Being vegan, you become hypersensitive. So if you're eating wheat, it may upset your stomach if you're vegan over time. So people just by choice go gluten-free. And the kids, we did double-blind tests on them. If they eat gluten, they get like rashes and lips. So we just started feeding them non-gluten stuff. It's not a big deal. We just get rice pasta or rice bread or whatever, non-gluten-free, whatever. Not a big deal. It was a big deal like 10 years ago. Anyway, the flat earth thing. Let's talk about it. When I first heard about the flat earth thing, I thought it was crazy. I thought people who believed the earth were flat were nuts. But the more you get into it, and especially the more that you try to prove the curvature of earth, you realize that these people are not crazy. There are crazy people everywhere, by the way, and there are crazy vegans, and maybe I'm one of them. But as far as the earth being flat or a perfect ball, look, I've flown around the world, some of you may know that, and I've never seen any curvature out the side of a plane. I've seen video of 100,000 feet and up, and I've seen NASA faked video. I've seen 1969 Neil Armstrong faking the shape of the earth from the inside, and he's filming the cockpit window. So look, we're being lied to on so many fronts. And Elon Musk, I don't know what's going on with him. And I don't know what's going on with Richard Branson, how Richard Branson privatized spaceflight but then never wound up. Like, is Richard Branson doing anything with spaceflight? Come on, let's be real here. Elon Musk, satellites. I got a bunch of questions now. So, okay, so you talk about, I can't ramble on forever about flat earth. And we got 12 minutes on the tape here, so. Here's one question about satellites and flat earth and whatnot. People say, well, there's satellites. Okay. Look up underground sea cables. And the majority of data transfer around the world is through underground sea cables. If you want to look up flight patterns of air traffic, you'll see they all go in straight lines. Undeniable. If you flatten out the map, you'll see they're all in straight lines. Crossing from the Antarctic to the North Pole and back apparently has never been done, and there are people who are trying to get it done who are being blocked. 1945 Antarctic Treaty. 1945 Antarctic Treaty. All these nations get together and they agree, okay, you can't go past the Antarctic ice walls. Like, what the hell is that? Why? Why can't you go past there? I could go even deeper. Mandela effect, man. Do you remember the Queen song, "We Are the Champions," ending with "of the world"? Of the world! I do too. I remember growing up and there was a North Pole, and now there is just water. I remember growing up and Ford logo didn't have a squiggly line. I've been in between working, getting into the conspiracy stuff out there. And listen, conspiracy, no conspiracy, what you should be able to do as a sound thinking person is ask questions and question authority. And if that makes you a conspiracy theorist, then let them say whatever they want to say. So I meditate a lot, and what I've seen in meditation is an infinite flat plane. And I've seen a gigantic tree. And in my meditations, I've called it the tree of life. And I'm not sure about this no trees on flat earth thing, or mesas, or old, silica trees. Here I am in 2017. How am I supposed to prove any of this stuff? Like, I'm living in Niagara. I'm not traveling the world looking for mesas. But there might be something to it. Let's question it. We could start with one thing at a time. I'm coming at things from, I have this huge religious background, went in the food industry, and then all my honest question asking and research led me into veganism, and now I'm questioning the shape of the earth. So I mean, like, we're one thing at a time, I guess, right? So like, none of this stuff is my business. I'm not profiting or making money from any of this stuff. I have a job and I work for a living as a technician, and I do my music on the side and my art stuff on the side. And so to me, this is all just fun and games. I mean, I know it's not fun and games to a lot of people, and people get freaked out when they say, well, I live on a flat infinite plane, or I live on a ball. To me, I mean, how does it affect your life, whether you live on a flat plane or whether you live on a ball? To me, it doesn't make much of a difference, but it does affect a lot of people, right? So this is what we're talking about. So take it all with a grain of salt, and my trademark phrase has always been, side with the truth and you'll always be right. Anyway, I wanted to catch you up. It's been 3 years, and this is what's going on now. I got 2 adopted kids. One is 6 and one is 4, just turned 4. Desiree's at work. She works at a diamond selling place. She sells diamonds, and they pay her very well. And things are going good with me in the technician field. I got no complaints. I got out of the non-vegan food industry. And you can follow me on Twitter at adamjosh.com. I started a vegans only social media platform called Vegans Are Us. You can look it up. You might have to download the Amino host platform app and then search for Vegans Are Us. And I link to it in my Twitter account. And if you're not a vegan, please don't join, because we will just ban you anyway. But yeah, I'm the founder of a vegans only app. I mean, I was standing around one day and I'm like, why don't vegans have their own app? So, Twitter, Facebook, and all that. But why don't vegans have their own social media app? And so nobody had done it yet. So if somebody could do it better than me, I'll join them. I'm not. I don't have this infinite amount of free time to just run social media outlets. So I have 6 leaders that help me, and amazing people. And one of them used to be a roommate of ours, and she wound up going vegan. So we just turn people vegan left and right. I'm just red pilling people, waking people up, saying, "Hey man, is the earth red? Is the earth round or flat?" This is what I do. I help people quit smoking. I help people go vegan. I help people. I don't know. This is what I do. I've been doing this stuff my whole life. So nothing new for me. But go back in 7 years and watch the pilot webisode of this show and try to catch up, and then see all my other YouTube channels. They're all over the place. Hashtag Adam Josh. Been on Twitter since Twitter started. So I'm not going anywhere, and I ask a lot of questions, and I'm open to the truth, and my whole motto is to side with the truth, and you'll always be right. So as far as my last blog goes, aliens, I was at the point where I'm just like, it's all aliens, man. God is a mass murdering alien. And if you want to be a god, all you have to do is be a psychopathic mass murdering alien who just wants to murder everybody through floods and fire and hell. And God, the God of the Bible, the God of the Quran is the God of Islam, the God of Judaism is a psychopathic mass murderer. Believe me when I tell you. I know firsthand. And anybody here who's watching me and who's watched 18 minutes into this video, who is following the God of the Bible, I'm telling you, you're being tricked. Psychopathic mass murderer. And the submissive, mentally ill people who follow after them. You need to realize that you have an infinite amount of power inside of yourself. You're no greater than or lesser than this being that is claiming he or she is the creator of you. And he or she, the creator of this whole reality, if you met him or her, that being would tell you the same thing I'm telling you right now. Don't be afraid of death. Don't be afraid of hell. It's all lies used to manipulate you. And if you really truly believe in hell, I believe in you, in the power of your own creation, so much that you will make that hell real. Until you get to the point where you realize and start questioning. And then maybe for another eon or two, you'll work through the different levels of hell, going up or down. And it's all a big game used to enslave you and vampire off your energy. You are infinite, you are awesome, and I'm here to tell you. So, adamjosh.com. It was really good to talk to you again, and I'll see you next time. Make sure to tell your friends.